Now that we've created the basic structure for our family, we can go and create the variables needed that will allow us to define the width, height and depth of our desk. In order to do that, you would create what are called parameters, and to create parameters you would draw dimensions snapping to the reference planes that will define your variables, so the width here and the depth. Now, we said in the previous lecture that we wanted the width to be centered amongst this central reference plane, so in order to do that we create another dimension selecting all three reference planes, and then you can see there's a little EQ symbol up here in blue. If we click that, these dimensions turn to EQ, which symbolizes they're equalized amongst the center, and we can prove that by selecting the right reference plane, clicking and dragging, and you can see how the left one also moves with it. So in order to add the parameter that will allow us to change the width, click on the dimension. Under the label drop down you can either click a pre-existing parameter or you can create a new one. We're going to create a family parameter. We'll discuss shared parameters in future lectures, and we're just going to give it a name of width. We're going to keep it as a type, and we're going to group it under dimensions. The type of parameter is predefined as a length type because it came from a dimension. So that's our width, so we can test that it's working and that it's flexing correctly by changing the value, 1200, and that's looks working fine. And we can create a new parameter for depth, and OK, and just check that this is working, so type in 650. You can also go to what's called your family types dialog box, which is this button here. So if you open this, bring it onto my screen here, you can see that it's got these new parameters that we've created along with the kind of standard Revit built-in parameters. I can change the values in here as well, so I can change this to 1500, click apply, and you can see how it changes. I can change this to 700, click apply, and you can see how the depth changes. I'm going to change this to 650 and 1200. Click OK. I'm also going to go to my front elevation to put a dimension for my height. It's important that you select the reference plane that exists underneath the level, not the actual level itself. So just bear that in mind for when you're creating families. Again, we'll create a parameter here for height, and OK, and we'll just change that to 900. What we also need to do is create a reference plane that will define our desk thickness, the worktop thickness. So I'm going to create a new reference plane underneath. I'm then going to create another dimension, and I'm then going to assign this the worktop thickness. It's important to be concise and clear with and consistent with your naming of parameters. I personally use camel case, but it's up to you. All I would just say is that it should be consistent and clear to whoever's going to be using or editing the family in projects further down the line. Click OK, and if I change it to say 100, you can see that this reference plane here moves because this reference plane location is defined by this parameter, and therefore the only direction that this reference plane can move is downwards. So if I change that to 50, that reference plane moves. Okay, so that's the basics of creating the parameters that will allow us to change the key variables in our family. In the next lecture we'll go through the basic geometry creation methods, and we'll actually then start to create the 3D geometry representing our family.